Saturday night. It's Ground Zero Plus. The chilluminatti are on the house.
Each night as I crawl along over the sands, I sift through the blood and the fog, head in my hands.
There they go. Pale Summit. And some King Buffalo. Not very chill. At all. Huh, Rock and Rio. That wasn't chill, was it?
No, it was
supposed to be chilluminati. Sound like we're in the devil's den. Making sacrifices. You know?
Yeah.
It's awful. I don't know, man. I don't know what you can do. Sometimes hard rock kicks ass, and other times you can just notice the harsh reality of it. Here, let me change the tone. This is more like it. You got your walking barefoot in the sand, got a drink in your hand, your shirt on, your Hawaiian shirt, $300 pair of sunglasses. That's more like it, huh, Rio?
Now you're talking.
That's the life you want to live right there. I feel much better now. You feeling better, Rocky Rio?
Yeah, that's a little more chill.
It's about to get even better here, too. Wouldn't that be cool if wherever you went, that just piped in? You just had you just had this soundtrack with you wherever you go. Badass music just pipes in, you walk in a whole rhythm. That'd be killer, man. Well, here we are, back again. Ground Zero Plus. I don't know what's going on later. And I don't know what happened earlier. All I know is this is the plus. I think Ground Zero did a webinar today, I think. That's what I heard on the rumor, from the rumor mill. There goes the J. Giles band. All right, Rock and Rio, let me have it.
What would you like?
I don't know. What do you got?
I don't know.
Got nothing.
Got nothing.
It's Saturday night. What are you supposed
Saturday night chilling style, you know?
Yeah. Man, I don't know. I'm just wondering. Spend my life wondering. Sitting on the back porch, looking at the stars, wondering. Do you ever consider, have you ever considered this idea that how in the world did any man ever come up with this concept of God? So imagine, like, supposedly it all started from one couple, and then babies were born. So so let's say you were the first couple. Okay, how would you know what you were supposed to do to have a baby? In other words, you have this thing, and the other person has that thing, and you stick this in that, and have an orgasm, and then 9 months later, a baby pops out. So the baby pops out. Somehow you get it out. No one ever taught you how to have a baby, but somehow you figured it out. And you somehow spit it out of there.
Have figured it out, right?
I'm just saying, somehow you figured it out, and you spit it out of there. You cut off the umbilical cords or whatever. You know, and then you had to teach that baby. You know, you had to teach it how to live. Now, you're just surviving out in the wilderness every day. I mean, literally every day could be your last, you know. And so it seems like a far, far, far time frame before anybody would even be having enough time to sit around wondering where they came from or what they were supposed to do when they were here. Their mission. How did they ever, I mean, even at the point that you could come up with something like that, like say you did have time to sit around looking up at the sky and wondering how you came here, how you got here. They just think of I mean, how could it come to that point where you would even consider that?
Well, you know, if you follow the story that in the beginning, when the man and woman were created, God spoke to them directly. So They didn't have to guess where he came from. He just told them who he was.
So you're telling me with these cavemen, like the movie 2001, these monkeys. You're telling me somehow these monkeys, there's men after that somehow, and God spoke to them, said something to them, and now so now they're in direct communication with a being they cannot see that's up in the sky, and then what do? Just start telling that story to their children, you know, and then their children grow up and they start talking to the sky too. You know what I mean? I mean, it's
Well, he directly interacted with them, so
that's what I mean. It doesn't. This knowledge that we're talking about here, it doesn't seem like it's an organic thing. Okay, it doesn't seem like it happened organically. It seems like there's a set narrative that everyone gets handed, and then that's what they get taught. And so from that point forward, that's what everybody thinks and believes. Right. But I don't know, man. What do you think? You think, do you ever sit in, I'm asking everybody that's listening, everybody everywhere. Do you sit out in your backyard when it's quiet and stare up at the sky and think about where you came from? You know, and think about, you know, that whole concept of anything? Imagine how long it would
I'm sure many people do. They, sit and ponder the reality of existence and
and then what
purpose,
happens?
and
then the dog barks, the baby cries, or whatever. I mean, dudes sitting around thinking about what's up in the sky are people that have a lot of time on their hands. You know what I mean? Because in modern society, no one can. How much time does a regular person going to sit there and ponder some shit? It's not. It's like politics. It's like that's why they say politics is a rich man's game. Because you need to be sitting around somewhere with a bunch of money, sitting around making comments about shit. Because the working man doesn't have time to sit around worrying about that shit. He's trying to fucking make it happen every week, 40 hours a week. So I mean, it seems to me. I mean, I'm just saying. You know, these words, these stories that we've heard. These are not direct relation from someone who saw something to you. He's not telling you that that's what happened. You know, it's not Adam and you're his son, and he says, Rio, when your mom and I bit into the fruit, God came down, threw us out of the garden. You know, he's pissed. So I'm sorry, son, you're going to have to pay for that sin that we did there. You know?
Well, I guess you would say that it was passed down from generation to generation. But, obviously it's been distorted over time because, there's different cultures with different beliefs as far as what the origin is. Or, what variation of it there is.
This whole
like the game of telephone,
I'm
kind of
noticing
gets skewed to some extent, I'm sure.
I'm just noticing some big discrepancies, and it looks like all that's ever happened is at some point we've been told a story, and that story's been repeated over and over again, like it's true, but it was never true. There's no you're gonna have a hard time convincing me. I'm just talking about even for the sails for these ocean-going vessels. The sail for it. Who is making that sail? Show me the long-term evolution of figuring out how to get thread and all this shit together. How to pull wool and turn it into yarn, and then knit it together to make some shit. Okay, and then go from that to making a ship sail that's going to sail across the ocean. And you tell me how in the world in that ancient time somebody figured out the strength, the tensile strength that would be needed to withstand, the kind of winds when you're going across the ocean. And then,
Well, I'm sure there was a
how
lot
many-
of experimentation and failure.
well, that's what I'm saying. How many, when you just have a regular sailboat, you're just a weekend sailor, and you got a boat down at the harbor, you got more sails than the one that's you're going to use. You have a bunch of them, so these giant ships would have had to have a bunch of spares and all this shit. Plus, they had to make rope and all that stuff. It wasn't like factories churning this shit out, bro. It was like people with needles in their hand. I never looked into it, but when did the loom come in? And then how did they take that loom idea and transform it into some machine that does it later, made out of metal, running off electricity? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Just reporting in the chat. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that there's a story, and all the information on how to do all this shit was there already. You know what I mean? No one just figured it out. You gotta have, you know how much time that would take? Dude, we talked about it before. If you sat out in your backyard from your perspective every single night and sat there looking up at the little lights in the sky and trying to figure out which ones look like this and which ones look like that, and then you figured out that one was a bull and, this one was a virgin and all this, and you figured out their little configurations. Okay? Just that in itself, how long would that take? And then you got to go from there, from that part to the part where you actually divine some sort of a pattern from energies and then apply them to someone who's born in that particular time. I mean, how long do you think that would take to get to that? And now we're to the point where you can just type, people used to have to be astrologers to do that. But now there's programs that are already made, so you don't even have to be an astrologer and know jack shit about anything. All you got to do is type it in, and here comes out the forecast, pretty much. So, how long do you think that would take, Rio, to figure that out? I mean, even just to figure out the little formations in the sky and how they keep coming around, and you keep seeing them, and you know what I mean? And you're a guy out there and you don't have a pen either. You got nothing. You don't got a camera. You got this. You're dipping a feather in an inkwell, and like scratching notes on some parchment.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess some of that knowledge is intuitive, or was given by divine intervention at some point. I mean, if you go back to the story, right? Once the Adam and Eve committed the sin, they knew they were naked and they clothed themselves. And it's always they tied a fig leaf around their waist with a piece of vine or something. But they still figured out how to do that much. Even if that's exactly it, that they figured out how to do that much.
Well, why would they do that? There's nobody else there. Just them.
Well, I guess it would be the embarrassment, right?
Well, all of a sudden, now they're offended. They don't want to offend God by being naked.
Well, no, I guess they felt I would say no. They were more.
They felt
ashamed that they were naked.
Shame.
Right?
Yeah.
They felt the shame of it.
Yeah, but why did they?
Right, like I mean, most people now. I mean, obviously there's nudist colonies and things
Something tells
such,
me.
but
Yes.
most people now don't walk out of the house into their driveway to get the mail naked, right? They put a robe on at least or something.
Yeah, well, it sounds to me like the reason they were covering up their genitals was because whatever original sin had to do with, it had to do with that. Because why else would they be covering that up? Why would they be shameful showing that now? In other words, God is the creator.
Well, that would go back to there is a theory that the original sin, even in the Bible where it says the serpent beguiled Eve, that it was a sexual sin.
Exactly.
So
because I think the thing is Adam and Eve wasn't supposed to reproduce like that, so they weren't supposed to be outside of each other, and the original sin was mate with something other than what was in the garden, because the garden was a special place. And you'll find the same idea as that in the Kolbrin. Now they call it the Kolbrin Bible, but it's not a Bible. It's called the Kolbrin. But that dude that does the Planet X shit, I forget his name. Somehow he got the rights to that, and because it's called the Kolbrin Bible. Anyways, in there's a creation story. It starts out pretty much the same. Joe, the executor in the chat, is saying about it wasn't the same sin in that domain. Well, there's also, while I'm going into this Kolbrin Bible thing, there's also a thing where the Gnostics, falling through from one dimension to another. They have a thing too. It's pretty similar to being thrown out of the garden. Yes, sir. All right, what was I doing? I was doing something. I just made Joe a moderator, and while I was doing it, I lost track of what I was doing in the first place.
Well, the multiple cultures have a
the
similar
Colbrin
story to the Adam and Eve story.
Yeah, the Colbrin. Hold on, that's what it was. Yeah. So what other Adam and Eves are there besides the ones I'm talking about? You know a few others.
Well, they're similar. That the man and woman were created initially by God and then fell to sin.
Well, let me see. Let me see if I can dig up the Kolbrin. I think that guy's name is Masters. The dude I was talking about. Masters. Or something. Mark Masters or some shit like that. Can't remember. You know what I mean, dude?
Mm-hmm.
It's all too much. All right, listen. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this real quick. This isn't even it. Playing games. Don't play games, sonny. All right.
Keck says the Blue Lagoon.
What about it?
I don't know. That's an Adam and Eve type story.
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to scroll through here real quick. Well, the thing is, though, I'm just saying, I'm trying to, all throughout these different revolutions and technologies that cause stuff to happen, it seems to me, it doesn't seem like a natural evolution to that point. And so to me, what I'm saying is these things are introduced in, but it's not like it I'm saying it was introduced. It was never thought up by a bunch of people. It was just introduced, like somebody just like came up with this idea, and all of a sudden that was the thing to do. In other words, remember when they didn't have a printing press? There was no Bible, and most people couldn't even read. The only way you knew what was in the Bible is when you went to a church and there was a guy in there that could read, and he'd stand up there and tell you what was in the Bible. But until then, there wasn't anything. So it wasn't like there was a whole bunch of, everywhere you went there was a Bible.
Well, yeah, but there was obviously writing and scrolls and ways of communicating before the printing press.
Yeah, but it's not like mass communications. In other words,
well, if you only got a handful of people on the planet, you can all
right,
take notes.
But
you
even
just take
still,
some notes and pass them around.
Right, but even still, like say, you didn't have a Bible. They weren't everywhere. There was one guy that was responsible for making Bibles printed in English. And we did a show about it. I think it was the very first show we ever did, actually, about that, about how the original Bible was printed. It's literally it was like a spy story. It's crazy shit. You wouldn't even believe it. How they got printed Bibles so people could read them. But until then, there was nobody that, you didn't even really know what it said in there. Because it's all word of mouth. And there's word of mouth from a guy. And it's 10 guys down the line from the guy that actually even seen the thing in the first place. And he didn't see it because there was nothing printed. That's what I mean. It's crazy shit. Isn't it? It had to get passed down somewhere. There's a documentary on YouTube about how the original Bible was printed or in English. If you type it in and search it, I'll remember that video. It's like 2 hours long, but there's a bunch of key moments in there, and I still remember it. But I'm going here because I'm going to the Kolbrin Bible. It's not a Bible, but I'm going to it because there's a creation story in here, and I want to bring it to the table because, like I say, it's interesting. Because it's written in a different way. It's written in a way to explain something, but it's not written like a Bible. So it's written more for someone like with knowledge equivalent to say what we have today. That would be reading this to understand it. Otherwise, I don't see how you could even comprehend it. If all you're doing is slopping the hogs and putting seeds in the ground. Way back when. All right, so hold on a second. Let me see here if I can get to where...
Amber asked what were Adam and Eve's original name in Hebrew. Well, Adam, I think, was Adama, and Eve was Hava. I can't say it like a Hava, right? So... Adam is
this shit's gonna blow you guys away, man.
Adam comes from the term for earth, and I believe Eve means life, if I remember that correctly. But you'd have to double check.
All right, listen to this. The birth of man. The love of God penetrated the third veil and became the seed of the souls within the soul sea. The body of a man, God made of water and things of the earth, breathing into him the spirit of life, that he might live. But man, when young, lived only to eat, drink, and fornicate. For being conscious only of the earth, he knew nothing. He knew only of earthly things and earthly ways. Now the Spirit of God moved over the face of the earth, but it was not of the earth, and it held all things, and it was all things. But on earth it could not be a part of anything without substance. It was awake, but entering substance it slept. Consider that which was told to the servants of Eban of heaven man, who once wandered the earth. He had no earthly substance. He could not grasp its fruits, for he had no hands. He could not drink its waters, for he had no mouth. He could not feel its cool winds upon his skin. They tell how the ape tribe, Selach, led by the heaven man, perished by the flames before the valley of Lod, the only she-ape reaching the cave heights above. When heaven man was reborn of the she-ape in the cavern of woe, could he taste the fruits of the earth and drink of her waters and feel the coolness of her winds? Did he not find life good? Is this not all the tale of the courtyard? Man created from earthly substance alone could not know the things of the earth, nor can the spirit alone subdue him. Had man not been created, who would have known God's wisdom and power? As the spirit fills the body of man, so does God fill his creation. Therefore, it was God that saw something that had to be, which joined earth and spirit, and was both in his wisdom and by his creative impulse, which governs the earth. He prepared a body for man, for the body of a man is wholly of the earth. Behold, the great day came when the spirit which God joined the beast, which is the earth, and then writhed in the labor of the travail. Her mountains rocked back and forth, her seas heaved up and down, earth groaned in her hands, shrieked in the wind. She cried in the rivers and wept in the storms. So man was born in upheaval and strife. He came wretchedly and tumultuously, the offspring of a distraught earth. All was in discord. Snow fell in hot wastelands. Ice covered fertile plains. Forests became seas. Where it was once hot, now it was cold. Where it was no rain had ever fallen, now there were floods. So man came forth, man the child of calamity, man the inheritor of creative struggle, man the battleground of extremes. Earth nurtured man with cautious affection, weaning him in the recesses of her body. Then, when he was grown sufficiently to be lifted, so he walked in the uprightness of God. She took and raised him above all other creatures. She led him into the presence of God, and she laid him on his great altar. It's the Colbrin. Mine's Jimmy. It's Ground Zero Plus. Somehow we got into the creation of man and the Colbrin, because I was trying to get to the part where he comes with the woman, and there's specific instructions that are given to this man about stuff, and to this woman, the first woman, and then they break that, and then because of that breaking of the instructions, there's price to pay. But before that, there was no sickness, there was no problems, everything was good. And I don't know if you guys want to get into it more, because like I said, we weren't getting it. It's like not. I don't know if you want old Jimmy to read you a story. Uncle Rio, I don't know. You could jump in and read part of the story too. Don't make old Jimmy carry all the firewood.
I can't really see very well at the moment. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got some new glasses.
No, it's not the glasses. It's I got something in my eye.
You got something in your eye?
Yeah. My one eye is all blurry. It's been that way for about 2 days now, so.
You guys want me to continue? Story time with Jimmy and Rio on Ground Zero Plus. Come on down and become subscribers. Shh. Maybe we should do this every Saturday, dude. I'll just come on here and read some shit. And then when you got the other eye back, you can
story time with Jimmy.
Not with Jimmy. Why is it always on me, man?
Well, you're the one reading it.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the future. So here, I'll continue.
Chilluminatti story hour.
Yeah. So man slept, but God opened the great eye within him, and man saw a vision of unsurpassed glory. He heard the voice of God saying, "Oh man, in your hand is now placed the tablet of your inheritance, and my seal is upon it. Know that all you desire within your heart may be yours. But first, it's necessary that you be taught its value. Behold, the earth is filled with things of usefulness. They are prepared for your hand for a purpose, but a task upon you to seek them out and to learn their use. This is the tuition for the management of your inheritance. What you know to be good, seek for it and shall be found. You may plumb the seas, pluck the stars. You may live in everlasting glory in the Savior of eternal delights, above and below, and about there nothing beyond your reach. All, with one exception. It is yours to attain. The God laid his hand upon man, saying, now are you even as, now, even as I accept you. Hang on. Now, you are even as I, except you sleep. There enclosed in matter in the kingdom of illusion. while I dwell here in the freedom of reality and truth. It is not for me to come down to you, but for you to reach out to me. Man saw a vision of glory encompassing even the spheres of splendor. Unbounded wisdom filled his heart, and he beheld beauty and perfection. The ultimate of the truth of justice were unveiled before him. He became one with the profound peace of eternity, and he knew the joys of uneasing gladness. The eternal ages of time unrolled the scroll before his eyes, and he saw written therein all that was to become and occur. The great vaults of heaven were opened up unto him, and he saw the everlasting fires, unconsumable powers, and strove therein. He felt within himself the stirring of inexplicable love, and unlimited design of grandeur filled his thoughts. His spirit rang unhampered through the spheres of existence. Damn. Some good stuff here on Ground Zero Plus and over on YouTube. And we're on TalkStream Live, I'm sure. You can mosey on over there and see where we are. Let me see if I can find my didn't lose my place. Okay, so then God lifted his hand from man, and man was alone. A great vision departed, and he awoke. Only a dim, elusive recollection, no more than a shadow of a dream, remained but deep within the sleeping soul. There was a spark of remembrance, and it generated within the man restless longing, he knew for not what. Henceforth, man was destined to wander, disconnected, seeking something he felt he knew he could not see, something which continually eluded him, perpetually goaded him, and forever tantalized him. Deep within himself, man knew something greater than himself was always with him and a part of him, spurring him on to greater deeds and greater thoughts and greater aspirations. It was something out beyond himself, scarcely realizing, and never found something which told him the radiance seen on the horizon dimly reflected the hidden glory beyond it. Man awoke. The revelation and vision was gone. The grim reality of Earth's untamed vastness surrounded him. And that, beset by the magnitude of the task ahead, with his heart he knew the destiny that lay beyond the squalor of his environment, he stepped out nobly, gladly accepting the challenge. He was now a new man. He was different. He looked above. He saw glory in heaven. He saw beauty about his spirit. He was responding to its environment. Man was now man, truly man. The nature of man on earth was formed after the nature of things in heaven, and man and all things contained simply upon the comforting bosom of the earth. Man grew in stature, but the earth was not indulgent, for she disciplined him firmly. She was ever strict, unyielding, chastening him, often blast of displeasure. It was indeed an upbringing of one destined for greatness. He was made to suffer cold. He might learn to clothe himself. He sent into the barren places that his limbs should be strengthened, into forests that his eyes should become keen and his heart become strong. He was perplexed with difficult problems and set the task of unraveling illusions of nature. He was beset with hardships of every description. He was tested with frustrations and tempted with allurements, and never did earth relax the vigilance of her supervision. The child was raised sternly, for he needed fortitude, courage, and cunning of a man to fit for the task ahead. He grew willy and wiry in the hunt. He became adaptable, able to cope with untoward happening, overcome the bewilderments of the early days. He found explanations for perplexities and as for his surroundings. Yet the struggle for knowledge, the need for adaptation, and the effort to survive were never relaxed. The earth child was well trained and disciplined. He was never unduly mollycoddled. He cried for bread. If he cried for bread, he went hungry. If he shivered and was cast out, he was sick and driven into the forest. Wary, he was lashed with storms. Thirsty, he found the waters dried up. When weak, his burden was increased, and in the midst of his rejoicing, he was struck down with sorrow. In moments of weakness, he cried, "Enough!" And that doubled his and doubted his destiny. But always something fortified and encouraged him. The earthling never forfeited his godlikeness. For man was a man; he was not cowed. His spirit was broken. A wise God knew his limitations, and as it is written, the wisdom of men over chastisement is bad, and no chastisement at all. But a man was rarely chastised. He was tried, tested, and challenged. He was led, prodded, and urged. Yet nothing was done unnecessarily. The seeming suffering and affliction are not what they seem as it is. Earth is perfect for its purpose, and the ignorance of that purpose is what makes it appear imperfect. Where is there a wiser father than the Spirit of God, or a better mother than the earth? What man is now owes to these? May he learn to be duly grateful above all, and let him never forget the lessons he learned in his upbringing. Man, that's some powerful shit, even if you just take it metaphorically. In other words, every single thing that happens, every time you think something's going on, it's bad or whatever, all these things are all making you and training you and turning you into something. You know, that's the thing that gives you perspective, you know, when you're looking at something, you know.
Mm. Well, you know, it's an interesting book, I suppose, but I don't know.
You like to?
I don't buy it, to be honest.
Well, what's to buy? I mean, it's a book. It's written, and you know it was found or whatever. So, I mean, it's why is it any different than any other book? I mean, why would you say this has any less of a value than the Bible? I mean, as far as, you know, it's a written thing. So why would this be less? I mean, why would you say or think some other thing is real or whatever, but this isn't? And like, doesn't that sound, I'm just asking, if the Bible is written like that, it's a little bit more understandable, you know? But the Bible itself is written in riddles and metaphors, you know, basically up to the individual to make out of it whatever it is, or try to figure out what it is, unless you have somebody to directly show you what it's supposed to mean. Otherwise, you can't just read it face value and, you know, get the message or whatever. You got to, like, it's written in code or whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, there's layers of it that are encoded, but I mean, you could just take it at face value, and it's pretty clear.
Well, I know the Psalms, man. I get that part. All right, but the rest of it, there's a lot of metaphor, man.
Oh, there is. There absolutely is.
You know what I mean? And so that's what I mean. This here, for me, I mean, I'm Irish. I resonate with this document. I mean, because I resonate with this document doesn't mean I discount the Bible or I think the Bible's any less. In fact, all it does...
it's interesting that you say that you resonate with it because you're Irish, because it is very Celtic in origin.
I know. That's where it was found. And they were digging some shit up, and it was in some brick. It was inside of some pieces of brick, chunk of brick that fell off. And
actually, I think it's Welsh, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Kolbrin Bible. The Kolbrin.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, what I was trying to get to is I was trying to get, the main reason I opened this up, but here, I'm just telling you this right now. I didn't mean to open this up, okay, tonight. I had no idea I was going to open it up. I did open it up, and I started reading that part right there. But that wasn't even the part I was going to get into, but it turns out that part that I just read right there, that was something that I needed to hear right now. In other words, I just got something out of reading that because of what's going on with me in my life, you know. So, it's, you know, what I just read right there is a faith restorative shit for me. Somebody's calling us, huh?
Yeah. I think it's CAC.
What's up, Cac? Is that you?
Hey, Jimmy. It's Cat.
What's happening?
So, I went down a rabbit hole. You inspired me last night to look up some stuff. And have you heard of the Thunderbolt project?
Now, I'm gonna say I did because I have, but I can't remember what it was. But it was something recent, and I think it might have to do with the Ark of the Covenant. But go ahead.
It could be. I mean, it all kind of relates, but it started in 2004, and this fellow named David Talbot and some scientists, they came together and they found that the universe is electric and plasma-based.
Oh yeah, I know that the Thunderbolt
ever-changing.
project. Yeah, I know about that. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, Talbot, and it's not the same David Talbot that was from the Bay Area, different Talbot, but he studied cave drawings from only a few thousand years ago from around the world, which indicate the indigenous peoples everywhere used to see the same amazing sky, one totally different from the one we see now. Saturn seems to have been the sun at the time. Venus was a negatively charged, ever-changing dancing comet in front of it. Mars was a fiery dragon, a positively charged red pupil at the center of this dynamic cosmic wheel. Then something happened which changed the sky. Shall I go on?
Please do.
So, warmongering black nobility bloodlines looted the wealth of the aforementioned tribes. These elites still worshipped Saturn, parenthetically Satan, the better sun, but it was now strangely far away from Earth and sported a ring of electricity which it did not have previously. Recent NASA probes have shown extraterrestrial vehicles flying into this ring. The despotic Roman Empire, where these bloodlines settled, was established as Saturnia, and images of the newly ringed Saturn are everywhere on the emblems of the corporations and banks of the elite. There's more.
Well, there is.
The Anunnaki.
There
I'm
is,
sorry,
and
go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, last week we talked about the Saturnalian Brotherhood and the Saturnalian time trap. So I
Absolutely.
appreciate this. Go ahead and continue because while you're doing this, I'm trying to dig up this particular section in the Colbrin that I was trying to get to that ties into what we're talking about because it ties into DNA. But so go ahead and continue, and Rockario jump in.
Well, just to kind of wrap it up, put a bow on it. It just seems like our knowledge, our natural human experience before the written word, just like the grunts and the awe and the wonder was hijacked somehow, and we've just been gaslit for millennia. But we're waking up. I think we're waking up. We got an eye on the ball, don't we? I think so.
I think so. All right, hang on a second. See, there's a garden in here. Hang on a second. The reason I'm having so much problems is because this particular PDF that I have is like a wall of text as wide as my iPad, my 13-inch iPad, and it's thick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so
Crazy.
if I try to make it bigger so I can see it better, it fucks the whole page up and I lose my place.
Yeah,
So-
you lose it. Yep.
So I'm trying to make it happen for us here, but it's what time is it? We got about 10 minutes left till the top of the hour. It's Ground Zero Plus. Come on down, become subscribers. I think if you subscribe when we're on the air, we get a little piece of that. But then you get the whole other thing too. No, that's really the benefit of it. Is there's so many great shows on here, including the namesake Ground Zero, of course. All right, so I'm trying to dig this out. Rockario, jump in here because I can't read and keep everybody satisfied over here at the same time. So it's going to be one or the other.
you actually trying to find in the Kolbrin?
There's a piece in there where there's the Adam character and there is no woman, and then now all of a sudden there is one, and then that's what I was looking for. And there's an explanation of how that happens. And I'm trying to find it. So, like I said, we didn't, this wasn't planned or whatever. So, it's the chilluminatti. It's like that. This show's gotten way too casual. Next thing you know, dude, we're gonna be laying on lawn chairs.
Yeah, sipping little umbrella drinks, right?
Yeah,
Watching the boats go by.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we're supposed to be doing, is chilling. Right? I don't know, Kag. What is your thought on the Kolbrin Bible? Kolbrin.
Again, you guys are blowing my mind because I have no knowledge of I've heard of it, but I just don't make time for some reason. I just don't make time for holy texts, of any faith. Just more into the philosophy and other stuff. So yeah, maybe I should dive into that someday, but I'm just not excited to do that. I don't know. Isn't there something about a rib from Adam? Didn't God take a rib?
That's in the regular Bible about.
Oh, okay.
But
I mean,
even that is an English mistranslation.
Sure.
The whole rib thing is in the English version of the Bible, King James version or those that followed. It says that God took Adam's rib to make Eve. Story, but that's not actually the original Hebrew said. So there's discrepancy in some of that as well. But the whole Colbrin thing.
This right here, I see one of the names here. Something I'm about to read is Atem, 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 and I've heard that before, and I think that has relationship to Egypt, Atem. I'm pretty sure. So listen.
Yeah, origin.
Okay, so listen. He was Fanvar. Yeah, because the thing is Egyptian origins, is all the red-haired mummies. Okay, yeah, because that's what went to Ireland. Everything that was going on in Egypt, all those people went to Ireland. That's where all the red-haired people came from in Ireland. That's all this, the Tuatha De Danann, all this Egyptian shit that was going on. Yeah, that's where it came from. Did you know there was when the queen was alive, there was an imam who literally said that she was in relation to Muhammad? Did you know that?
Queen Elizabeth?
Yeah. Did
Queen
you
Elizabeth
know?
was a relation to Muhammad?
Right. And did you know
Probably.
that the original bloodlines of Egypt are not found in Egypt at all? The people that are there now are not the original people. Check it out.
It's
true.
possible. I mean, totally.
No, it's true, man. Check
Well,
it.
And this is something that people tend to miss.
Scotland too, exactly. Bernays. I wasn't trying to ignore Scotland. At that time, who knows what the whole area, everything about it, everything that happened there. That is a magically powerful area, and if you look at it, you'll see that all these elite families, they all came from these bloodlines that went back. Right? Everybody knows that. Already.
Well, and most people don't realize that the royal family, Saxe Gotha Coburg or whatever their actual real name is, they're Aryans. They're German.
Well, the Aryans aren't Germans necessarily.
Well, not necessarily.
Because the Aryans came out of Iran.
I would say they're Germanic. And Germans are definitely directly related to Iran. Even if you go back and look at some of the history of World War II, that's one of the reasons that Hitler was so fascinated with that stuff.
Mm-hmm. And
because he was tied into an Iranian bloodline.
That's interesting. All right, so listen. He was Thanvar, son of Alma and Atem. He was wise and knew all things. He beheld mysteries and secret things hidden from the eyes of other men. He saw the sunrise and the sun setting in their splendor, but longed for things not realizable in this place where he lived. So because he walked with God, he was culled out from his kind and brought to the Merah, or the garden place. He came into it across the mountains and the wasteland, arriving after many days journeying, weary and close to death because of his the privations he had suffered. He could reach a refreshing waters from which he drank deeply and filled with exhaustion while he slept. In his sleep, he dreamed that this was the manner of his dreaming. He saw before him a being indescribably of glory and majesty, who said, I am the God above all, even above the God of your people. I am that which fulfills the aspirations of men. I am that in which they are fulfilled. You are having traversed all the circles of the in need of you and established your worthiness. You are now made my governor on this earth, and you shall rule all things here, guiding them in my ways, leading them ever upwards into glory. This will be your labor, and behold, here is your reward. A cloud mist seemed to gather about the glorious being enfolding him. He was no longer visible. Then the mist gradually cleared, and the man saw another form emerging. It was that of a woman, but one such as Fanbar had never seen before, beautiful beyond his conception of beauty, with such perfection and form and grace that he was dumbfounded. Yet the vision was not substantial. She was not wraith, an ethereal being. The man awoke and sought food and fruits about him. Having refreshed himself and wandered about the garden, wherever he went, he saw the wraith. But he was unafraid because she smiled encouragingly, bringing comfort to his heart. He built himself a shelter and grew strong again. But always, wherever he went, the wraith was not far distant. Then, one night, near the edge of the garden, he fell asleep. In the heat of day, he woke to find himself surrounded by the sons of the Bothas, not true men, but yozling kinfolk to the beasts of the forest. Before they could take his strength and wisdom, he loosed himself among them, slaying them in his rage and might before the rest ran away. When it was done, he sat himself beneath the great tree, for he was wounded, and his blood gushed out from his side. His blood gushed out from his side and gathered thickly beside him. He became faint, falling into a deep sleep. He slept. A wondrous thing happened. The wraith came and laid beside him, taking the blood from his wound upon herself, and so it congealed about her. This spirit being then became clothed with flesh, born of congealing blood, and being sundered from his side, she rose a mortal woman.
Wow.
In his heart, Fanbar was not at the rest because of her likeness, but she was gentle, ministering to him with solace and being skillful in the ways of healing. She made him whole. Therefore, he had grown strong again. He made her queen of the garden land, and she was so called even by the fathers who named her Gula. But Fanvar called her Ara, meaning helpmate. In our tongue, she is called the Lady of Landbid. Now God enlightened Fanvar concerning the woman, saying, this woman was drawn from her compatible abode into a realm of beauty through the yearning and aspirations of men. Her coming accomplishments something which would otherwise have taken countless generations. For earth is more fitting for men to learn manly things than for a woman to learn womanly ones. This woman was not as other women, being in no other way like yourself. Every hair of her head is unlike that of a man. Every drop of blood and every particle of flesh is that of a woman, and quite unlike that of a man. Her thoughts and desires are different. She is neither coarse nor uncouth, being altogether of another more refined realm. Her daughters will walk proudly, endowed with every womanly perfection and grace. Delicacy, modesty, and charm will be the lovely jewels enhancing their womanliness. Henceforth, men will be truly men, and women will be truly women, and men being girded by the manliness, and women being clothed with womanliness. Yet they shall walk together hand in hand toward descending glory before them, each helpmate and an inspiration for each other. So Fanvar and Aru lived in contentment and amid bounty and fruitfulness within the freedom of affliction and sickness. They delighted in each other because of their differences, but they were drawn closer together. So to the microcosm, it's Saturday night. It is Ground Zero Plus. It's the chilluminatti. It's time for that top of the hour break, man. You guys ready to take a break? Yeah. Why not, right? If you're gonna chill, you gotta chill right. You know, don't ever half-ass it. You know, if you say you're gonna chill, chill. And so let's chill, eh? I'm gonna be right back. Go on over and become subscribers to the GCP effort.
Crazy Jenny and her mission man were back in the alley trading hands. Along came Wild Billy with his friend G-Man, all dude up for Saturday night. Well, Billy slammed on his coaster brakes, said, anybody wanna go to Greasy Lake? It's a mile down on the dark side of Route 88. I got a bottle of rosé, let's try it. Well, pick up Hazy Davy and Killer Joe, and I'll take you all out to where the gypsy ladies go. Live your night, night, and it is like spirits in the night, all night. You know what they can do to you. Spirits in the night, in the night, step right up and let 'em shoot through you. Well, Billy was a crazy cat, and he shook some dust out of his coonskin cap. He said, try some of this, it'll show you where you're at, or at least it'll help you to feel it. By the time we made it up to Greasy Lake, my hand was out the window, Janie's fingers in the cake. I think I really dug her, I was too loose to fake. I said, I'm hurt, she said, honey, let's heal it. And we danced all night to a so very band, and she kissed me just right, like a lonely angel can. She felt so nice, just a song that's living in the night, all night. Janie don't know what she do to you. Spirits in the night, in the night. Stand right up and let her shoot through you.
This is the fastest and easiest way to get global mixes in a company.
Hey, I just want to say happy birthday to Wanda. I didn't know it was her birthday yesterday, but happy birthday, Wanda. You made it around the sun another time. All right. Woohoo.
Burning, burning, all you can take. Wheels are turning in the bed you made. I'll take you over, you're tied at the stake. Nobody loves you like the way I do.
Zero Plus, chilluminatti. We're talking about the Colbrin and other stuff. 718-618-9905 is the number to call. Little one in the chat. Dropped a verse in there. Let's get into it, man. Let's talk about it. It's Ground Zero Plus. My name's Jimmy. Rock Rio's here. Cac is here. Wyoming is here. Fingerman's here. Tone Deaf's here. Flippy's here. Ken's here. Zero's here. Karen's here. Polynation's here. Rowdy's here. Tone Deaf's here. Woohoo! Amber too. It's good to see everybody over here. All right, so we've been talking about the Kolbrin. Now that we got the hellos out of the way. All right, listen. So what about it, Rio? What about the Kolbrin now? What about the Bible now? Little one in the chat. Let me see if I can scroll back here. I don't know where it went. Anyways, little one was dropping something in there. I think it was having something to do with what we were talking about. Let me see. I'm just way out of base. I'm way out of the chat link. Anyways, go ahead, Rock and Rio. What about it? You got something in your eye? Ow, man. My eye. He stuck it in his eye, man. What happened? Am I here by myself? Maybe I am. Cac, are you still here? Is anybody
Yeah,
here?
I'm still here.
All right.
I think got an earache my eye.
You're exactly earache my eye. I don't know where Rio went. Hopefully he's all right. I know how it is to, be handicapped when you're moving around. I'll tell you right now, every single thing is a chore when you're on crutches, dude.
Yeah, that's no joke.
No, it sucks, man. And, it's deadly. Seriously. Like I live up I got a flight of stairs going up to my house, So going down is hard enough, but coming back up the other night, I was coming up the stairs, and it was at night, and it was wet. I was coming up the stairs, and as I was coming up, I'm lifting my foot up, and I'm thinking to myself, fuck, if I fall backwards, I'm a dead man. You know what I mean? Because, normally you're walking up the stairs, so you're in no danger of falling backwards if you just walk up the stairs normally. You're not going to fall backwards. But if you do fall backwards on the stairs, there's nothing behind you. You're going to struggle and try to, and then you're just going to land right on your neck and fucking kill yourself. And like 20 seconds later, I literally almost fell backwards. Literally. And so I was, as I was coming up the stairs, going up the stairs the rest of the way, I'm thinking to myself, fuck, it's just like, what happened to the guy? I don't know. He was, one thing, he was fine. He broke his leg. Next thing you know, he fucking fell down the stairs, and that's it. Shit can change just like that in a New York minute, like we talked about a couple weeks ago. But I am saying that, like, even when I'm making a pot of coffee, it's not a simple thing about making a pot of coffee, because I got to empty out the coffee filter. I got to put it back in the coffee thing. Got to go back. Got to get the coffee pot. Got to go to the water. Got to put water in it. Got to take the water. Got to go back. And every time I'm doing that, I got to maneuver with my crutches. So I'm building some upper body strength. Like I've learned how to go sideways like a crab. When I have to. Short steps, but that's the thing. As I started been on these crutches for few weeks now, so I've developed some skill, and so like I've gotten overly confident with my skill, moving fast when I shouldn't move fast. Like when I was coming up those stairs the other night, when I almost fell backwards, that kind of shit. Because all of a sudden I I got confident about my abilities to move around on these crutches. But the reality of the situation is, when you fall and you're on them crutches and you start falling, you're fucked. Because you can't use your leg. I can't use my leg to save myself. You know what I mean? I got my one-legged. You know, so it's dangerous.
Different center of gravity, and
It's dangerous.
that's
But I mean, it's metaphorically speaking. You know, we should take our time and be
gotta slow down. Yeah,
let's
that's right.
take our
That's
time.
right.
Let's be thoughtful of the steps that we're taking. You know,
Mhm.
this is like when you're sitting down eating a meal. You know, be thoughtful with the bite of food that you took. You know, chew it up good, really taste it. Lots of people just shove it in their mouth and swallow it. You know, kind of shit. No, I didn't mean it like that, but obviously you could take it like that. But, you know, that's how modern society is. Really, we don't take the time to really memorialize each moment and all the pleasures that are actually available to you. You know, we're mostly reacting or responding to some negativity or some shit going on. Like I was saying earlier, like I couldn't sit around pondering my spiritual life if I'm being beat to death with all my problems of the modern world. I mean, that's pretty much why people, they go somewhere to do that. Because once you can't, the dog can't bark, the baby can't cry, you know. You don't have to go to the store for milk, you know, that kind of, otherwise,
Right. I mean, you know, you gotta find time to meditate, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes there's no time.
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. You know? But I don't know if Rock and Reel is still there, but hey, let's try to wake him up. 718-618-9905 is the number to call. If you call in, it'll start ringing over there.
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Oh, all right. I was just fucking with you.
I was tending to my eye.
What? See? That's what I did.
Don't poke it with a Coke spoon.
We were
Work for cheeky chop. That was not good.
No, when they're watching the World War II movie, and the guy's like, you know, signsy papers, old man.
No, I actually.
I cannot believe you would not sign your paper.
I have a splinter in my eye, but nobody will see me until Monday morning, so I am stuck with this irritating little piece of metal stuck in my cornea.
Oh, fuck, you got metal in your eye?
Yeah.
That happened to me driving limousines, and I had the AC on full blast, and a little speck of metal got stuck in my eye, and I kept rubbing it, so I just kept, you know, pushing it deeper into my eye until I finally had to get it dug out by this doctor.
Well, I actually had it happen about a month ago at work, where I caught a metal splinter in the eye, and so I don't know where this one came from because it appeared yesterday or late last night. You know, it may have been in my clothes or, you know, my jacket or, you know, so in the car or something, you know.
Yeah, a lot of times.
Thankfully, I still have the eye drops for the antibiotic and the pain, the pain drop and the steroid. So I've been using the drops to kind of keep it subdued until Monday morning.
You're going to be like Alex on Clockwork Orange. They're gonna have you strapped to a seat, applying. No, I'm just kidding, man. That sucks. Sorry, man.
Yeah, so that's
bad.
So we do have a caller.
Of course we got a caller. They want to wake your ass up.
And I'm not sleeping.
I know. Well, that's what I mean. I brought up the idea that you possibly could be sleeping, and the first thing, if somebody calls in, they want to wake your ass up. Did you call in to wake Rio up, or did you call in because you're just calling in? Hold on a second.
Hey, man, where you been all day, man? I had trouble getting you on the phone, man.
On the phone?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, man. I don't even have a phone.
Oh, well, that's probably why I had trouble getting you then.
Okay, good. All right, caller. Rock Rio.
413, hello.
Hey, 413.
Hey, fellas, it's Springfield. How you doing?
It's doing good. Who's this?
From Springfield, 413.
Oh, hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up?
So what are you thinking? Did you hear us?
Actually,
Did you hear us talk?
Good.
Good. I was just gonna say, are you here to talk about what we were talking about, or you got something else going?
Just what you just said, actually, about like taking every moment, and you're supposed to take each step and stuff like that. It kind of made me have a thought of kind of like that's what we say, grace for before meals, and just the small things that kind of, memorial, like you said, when you said memorialize things.
Yeah, memorialize memorializing our moments. Because they're important. It's just because we take them for granted. You take it for granted more and more. The younger you are, the more you take for granted time. The older you get, the more you realize there isn't that much time, or you don't know how much time you have, or and then you start having to realize that, like, do you really have time to get in these spats and fuck with people and get in arguments, man? Do you have to be right? Is it so important for you to be right about whatever subject it is that you can't just let the other person be right and just, for a minute, or let them be right just that one time, just so you can maintain your own serenity? I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Just like try to diffuse a situation instead of, fueling it. You know what I mean? Try to respond to shit, and rather than react to shit. You know what I mean?
Rather than trying to just win,
right?
Rather than just trying to win,
That too, but I'm saying a response in reference to a reaction. So a response is a thought about thing. It's an action. You thought about it, you responded. A reaction is you didn't think about it, and you just emotionally respond without thinking about it. And so, more Spock, less Kirk. Which is more important to you? Being right or your serenity? Sometimes that's just a matter of the choice someone's got to make, I think. Especially like, when you talk about these holiday situations and you got people coming over and there's political discussions, this family member is conservative, that family member is a liberal, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's easy to bait somebody into getting into a conversation about some shit, right? It's like, how many times if you were sitting there and somebody, and you were trying to turn the other cheek, you're trying to do what I'm saying right now, you're trying to keep the serenity, trying to, and it's a good plan and everybody digs it, we're breathing in and out, we're drinking water, we're trying to change our lives, we're trying to, so you go to this family thing and then all of a sudden dude says something. And then you don't do anything because you're turning the other cheek. And then the dude says something else and you don't say nothing. You just make, a friendly comment, and then he says something else. But eventually, it's like he's trying different shit. It's called like a floating trial balloons up. He keeps floating these balloons trying to disturb your peace, and you're sitting there batting them away. But eventually, is he gonna find that trigger point? It's like eventually you'll just get to a point where you just like, you finally said the thing that just pissed you off and you couldn't do it. That's,
what's funny is I think I told you guys I'm a power lifter, but so I work as a bouncer a lot, and interacting with people, that's my specialty, and de-escalating. So I like when I'm talking to people and they're hyped up, or they're like, F you, this, that, and the other. I literally will just be like, I love you, and they don't have no idea what to do.
Yeah, that disarms them, eh?
Yeah, because they're expecting obviously a equal or higher, anger or fury.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's really powerful advice too, really.
Yep.
But I'm sure if the dude made a move on you, you smack him in the head, drag him outside. But
do what you do.
I was working at this club, and the owner, he had, I think, it was his girlfriend or his girlfriend's family, but they were Samoans. So he had a bunch of Samoan dudes working there as security, and they weren't like, it wasn't like an organized security force or anything like this. It was just, some big Samoan dudes sitting at the door. You're not going to want to fuck with them, and that was the security, pretty much, but, stuff did happen, and eventually they made them wear shirts, and like to made them look like they were security. So they had to wear these white button-down shirts. Made them wear a black tie. But I mean, typically when you're in security or you're doing any kind of shit like what I'm talking about, so any kind of security, you don't ever wear a tie. Anywhere you don't want to wear a tie that's an actual tie. You wear a tie that's a breakaway tie. So if somebody pulls on it, it comes off like a clip tie. But these guys didn't know that, right? And so one night there's this whole fucking thing going on in the club, and they're gonna throw these dudes out. And they start, throwing people out, and there's this whole thing, and they're beating people up, and they're throwing them out. So that one guy, they're throwing him out, and the Samoan dudes have got these ties, but they weren't clip-ons. So he got a hold of this Samoan dude's tie, and fucking hung all of his weight down on it, and he was just choking the shit out of it, but it really wasn't doing anything, the Samoan dude. He just made him even more pissed, and they had these high tables with these high stools, and this dude was like, he was like choking him. Like his feet are on his waist, and he's pulling on that tie, and he's trying to choke him, and he's not even phasing the Samoan dude. The Samoan dude just one-handed grabbed one of these bar stools and just went just use it as a club and just beat the dude to a pulp, and then threw him out. And like I said, his tie was tight, and he just like loosened the tie and kept on going. Anyways, the moral of the story is always wear a breakaway tie if you work security anywhere. That's the moral of the story.
Breakaway shirt, just full on breakaway suit.
There you go.
They'll run away from a naked Samoan.
Movie on 6, man. Oh man, it's a horror movie, man.
A horror movie?
Yeah.
Oh wow, is that Jane Fonda?
No, not that kind of scary one,
It's a horror. It's a horror movie. Hey man, is that Jane Fonda? People don't even know who Jane Fonda is probably anymore, huh? Was the big thing with Jane Fonda? She went over and talked to the Viet Cong, and she was sitting on like a
Hanoi Jane.
Hanoi Jane.
To Hanoi, yep.
That's some funny shit. All right, well, listen. I'm trying to get to a place where...
They are killing the girl tonight, old man. Oh, no. Did you hear that, old man? They are killing the girl tonight. You can save her. Just sign the papers, old man.
I cannot sign the papers.
You cannot sign the papers, old man. Old man, look at me. Just sign the papers, old man.
He cannot sign the papers.
Are your papers in order?
Sign the papers.
I cannot sign the papers.
Sign the papers, old man.
Oh, wow, man.
Now, old man, you are making me lose my temper. Calm down, old man. Just calm down.
Didn't Christopher Walken try to give Dennis Hopper a smoke in True Romance?
Would you like a cigarette, old man? How about this one?
Oh, he stuck it in his eye,
Old man, you need some water!
You guys all had to go through that whole thing just so I could have this.
Oh, he stuck it in his eye,
Old man, you need some
Rio, how did you get a piece of metal in your eye?
Honestly, I don't even know. I mean, it was probably either in my jacket or in the car or something because I don't work on Friday, so it was fine yesterday. But this at some point, yesterday or this morning, it started bothering me.
It's all too
Piece of
much.
rust or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little tiny speck, and it's stuck there. And I've poked at it with like a paper towel, trying to move it, and it's like
See,
embedded,
if you had a
so-
girlfriend, she could just poke them out with a pair of tweezers.
No, I ain't letting no weird chick in your house.
Weird chick. Well, if she was your girlfriend, she wouldn't be a weird chick. I don't
What
know.
about a magnet?
Yeah, there you go. A magnet, homeboy. See, look at CAC is batting 1,000, man. Came in last night.
I already
said
tried
some
that.
shit, brought it all together with the loosh. Now tonight,
I already tried it. It didn't do anything.
you don't have the right magnet.
It's stuck in there good.
You need a bigger magnet, dude.
Now, the last time I had it a couple of weeks ago, when I had the splinter in there, the doctor has this like little sucker thing she puts on there and it sucks it right out. And, I just gotta wait till Monday to go get my eyeball sucked.
I actually said magnet, because I used one once. 413.
Damn.
No,
See, the
I'm
voice
sure-
of
I'm sure
wisdom
it
is
could
experience. There you go.
I'm sure it could work, but it didn't work. Either that or I just don't have a strong enough magnet.
Right. I had one of those like crazy neodymium or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll swing by the old Home Depot tomorrow and buy one and see if that'll work.
You should.
Just use it not.
Well, I spent all day working on my website to get this whole thing, this new AI agent thing I'm putting together. So I'm really close and might be able to launch it sometime in the next couple days. It's almost there, man. Here, I'll show it to you. Here, hold on. See it? No, you can't see that. That ain't it. That is, what is that? Huh. Oh, it's YouTube. That's what's up. Okay, hold on. There we go. All right. There it is. memoryholeai.com. It's not functional, but you can go over there, click around. It's almost built, and it'll be a whole thing. Probably going to be ready tomorrow, but I'd say probably, for sure on Monday. So you'll be able to go over there and actually utilize it. And so what we're going to do is, we'll go live or something, and then I'll give you guys there'll be a password to get in. We'll give some people the password. You can go over and test it, do some beta testing. Maybe you want to be beta testers. So in the chat over here, if you guys want to say if you want to be a beta tester, let me know, and we'll let you beta test it before I launch it for the public. And this has to do with your cognitive, your cognitive liberty and your freedom of being harassed. So memoryholeai.com. Go over there and check it out. Let me know what you think.
I had something else from last night I would want to bring up if you
Go ahead.
Like the phased array and the I've read up a lot about like nanotech and the kind of those things you were describing last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's just blind faith, you could call it that, but I kind of believe that in the future the only way you'll kind of be able to evade stuff like that is by keeping your grace high, keeping your vibrations high, and maybe God will bring his hand and not let certain things affect you. Like maybe we'll be able to actually think for ourselves.
Well, I mean, it's possible. I mean, you're gonna have to. I mean, the thing is, if you can go search it up yourself and just type in, map of the world where there is no wireless. So just say because there's nowhere. The whole world's covered. They're by white dots, and basically everything's covered with wireless. And now with Elon Musk's thing, it's basically available everywhere. And then there's ground stations, so it beams down from a satellite, hits a ground station, and then they pump it off the ground stations onto the shit that's around you, on telephone poles and shit like that, light sticks, all that.
Yep. Wi-Fi. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the Wi-Fi isn't fully integrated yet, but it could be just like that. I mean, all they do is hire a contractor, and one day you'll come down a street, and all the lights will be changed out. Or all of a sudden you start noticing them getting changed out.
We'll have that blue tint.
Yeah, there was something about that. Something I just saw recently about that.
Oh, the lights that turn purple.
No, the blue roof thing. But it wasn't what people had thought, and it was interesting. The guy put together. I just can't think of it now. I'm just, it's Saturday night, and I can't remember every detail tonight because it's the chilluminatti, and I'm chilluminati, big time. It's been a hard week for old Jenny. Made it through though, so tomorrow morning there's going to be some wake and bake right here at 8 o'clock Pacific. Come on by. Now, Rio, are you going to be there?
I don't think so.
Because you got one eye. I mean,
I got one eye, but
damn.
Hi, Rio.
I don't know.
yeah,
Anyways, what I do know is I'll be here at 8 o'clock Pacific, and they'll be wake and bake. So you come on by 8 o'clock Pacific tomorrow morning and find the sanctuary in our little cove of happiness where we get the day started right in every kind of way. So trust me on that. You'll enjoy it if you stop by. You won't be disappointed. Rock and Rio, I know you don't have to come by because I know your eyes, effed up.
Well, I think I'll be going out earlier tomorrow than so.
Well, still, 718-618-9905 is the number to call if you want to call in. Call in and win on Into the Microcosm.
Stop texting each other and just talk.
We're not texting each other. We're working deals.
Can it wait?
They're working deals. Everybody's working deals. Do you ever wonder, like, seriously, by people buying bullshit items that you find on one website for $2 and then sell it for $30 on Amazon? Are there really that many millions of motherfuckers that are buying that shit? And where people are, look at my phone, see my bank account? I got $16 million and I don't have shit. Last week I didn't have shit, but ever since I did this thing where I buy something real cheap over here and then I sell it on Amazon for $30 and I don't even take delivery for it. Yeah. I got $16 million. Look at this
These little black clouds keep walking around with me. It was time and I'd rather be high. Think of what we outside about a rainbow smile, but they're free. They are free. So maybe tomorrow I'll find my way.
718-618-9905 is the number to call. You can just call.
I look around at a beautiful life. I've been the upper side of down, been the inside of I, but we breathe. We breathe. I wanna breathe in an open mind. I wanna swim in the ocean, wanna take my time for me. Tomorrow I find my way home.
Someday this war is gonna end, boy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, outstanding.
There you go.
Jimmy Jean, hello.
What's happening?
You were speaking earlier about being at the cookout and turning the other cheek.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Now, we serve a king that I have no shame. What do I have shame for? I take no fear. No shame, no fear, no embarrassment. I give all my glory to the king. If he gets all the glory, why do you take shame or anything? Why would you take that?
Yeah, that's the question I was.
Why would you take any shame or any embarrassment for that? He gets all the glory.
Yeah, that's.
If he gets all the glory, you.
That's the question I was asking in the very beginning, because I asked Rio, I said, well, why is Adam and Eve now all of a sudden they're covering themselves up? And I'm saying, because, they were made by God. I mean, why would that be an embarrassing thing? It must have been that must have been whatever it was.
Exactly.
Go ahead. But I was saying that must have been those parts of their body for some reason was causing the shame, and that's why they had to cover it up. Not for any other reason. Go ahead.
They were ashamed of their sin. That's what.
Yes, the glory went to God. Now they noticed themselves. When you notice themselves, you're taking that attention and that glory away from God.
Oh yeah, there you go. Now you're talking. Please continue.
And when you do, it's shameful. Now you have to take all this that comes with it, the shame and the embarrassment. Hence Christ. Christ comes, he takes all that to the cross. What are we feeling that for? We don't have to feel that shame anymore. I'm not naked anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That curse was broken. Christ broke that.
Very powerful, Rio. What do you think, Rio?
Well, I agree.
So hence the perfect plan. Perfect plan. Perfect perfection. And that's God. So we try to wrap our hands around the Father God, the upper God. You can't fathom that. He's a deity. You can't fathom deity. How can you? What are you going to talk about if you get up there with God? Creation of the universe? What do you know about creation of the universe?
Nothing. That's what happened.
Neil deGrasse Tyson might know a little bit. So, but even what is he going to talk about?
Well, the thing
You're a genius. What are you going to talk to God about creation of the universe?
He ain't going to talk. He ain't going to talk to God.
Find out who God is as a person.
Well, check this out. When Job tried to talk to God, God said, "You know what, man? Who are you to talk to me? Who are you to try to talk to me?" He said, "I created everything. What do you know about creating a universe? Nothing."
Yes. And the stuff that was taken away from you, you made that.
That's right.
You made it.
Exactly.
So you can make it again. So you don't need to talk to me. Talk to Christ. We don't talk to God. We talk to Christ.
There you go.
That's the man.
Now, what you gonna?
It's just
what you gonna?
Go ahead, Jim. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, sir.
No, I was gonna ask you. Tomorrow's Sunday, so you got some good plans for tomorrow? You can get with the family, maybe, or maybe take some time for if you with the family all the time, maybe take some time for yourself.
I'll go to worship tomorrow, and I live Groundhog Day, my friend.
Uh-huh.
But otherwise, it's just about Christ, man. Christ. Find out who God is as a person. Then you can find out who God is as God after you find out who He is as a person.
Well,
He'll reveal it to you.
I really like what you said about when a person turns their attention from something, from their connection with a higher power, their God, that they choose for themselves, whoever that might be, whatever religion you might be, whatever, and so when they have chosen something for themselves, and that's always a good thing, right? So no matter what it is, as long as you try to develop a connection with something, a power greater than yourself, is a lot what they say in AA, so that everyone's included in that, regardless of where you may sit or what way that you might believe in something. But overall, what you were saying,
we're humans.
What you were saying about when
there's millions of
become
gods out there.
When you become self-centered, as far as not paying more attention to yourself than you are paying, like what shirt you're wearing, what car you're driving, where you're living, how much money you're making. When you pay attention to that rather than your connection to your spiritual connection is where things go wrong. So I thought that was really powerful when you said that, because it is.
Yes. Genesis, it says, let us make them in our image. Mm-hmm. The word image in Genesis, the word salim, it's the word salim. It means idol, idol. Idol. That's our only idol. We idol that. We're supposed to express that. Now, you say inner power. Your inner power is Christ. There are millions of things out there that want your attention. And they didn't save you from any curse. But when, like you said, when taking your attention off of that one, when who was it? Peter that walked across the water. Am I correct?
Yes.
That and he walked on the water. He walked on the water, and then he lost his focus. He feared the storm. He fell, but Jesus still saved him. Even he lost his faith. Jesus still saved him. So it's just it's about that. It is about that connection, and it's about knowing who God is as a person, knowing who He is as a person. And that is my thoughts, sir.
Well, I really appreciate your call. I hope tomorrow you get a chance to, after you go to worship, you get a chance to, hang out with somebody that needs, who knows what's going to happen. But if you're open, you're open.
Yes, sir.
If you're open to the possibilities, then anything's possible. If you're only open to certain possibilities, what is that whole golf ball thing? If you have a consciousness the size of a golf ball, I'll go get it and I'll play it for you. It's David Lynch. We really appreciate you, man. We appreciate your call. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. We are signs and wonders, man. We are signs and wonders. Our King does not want us to fail, period. And it's there. It's there. But yes, sir. God bless you. And the show's awesome. Show's been awesome for years, bro.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, love you guys. God bless you. God bless you, Rio. Love you guys, man.
We love you too, brother. Hey.
All right, brother.
When things are going bad for you and you think life is bad and things are shit, you might be the good thing for somebody else. You just don't realize it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and that's how you have to walk it. Right, bad for me? No way. Yeah. No way. My King does not want raggedy worshipers.
No.
No, it doesn't work like that.
No.
No way. But when those trials come, yes, sir, we attack. We attack. Yes, sir. Because we will go through trials and tribulations.
That's right.
It happens. Life is not sweet. We know life's not sweet.
All right, much love. Peace be with you, brother. We'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Peace be with you. Love you guys, man.
But mere feelings have to show. Hold my hand. Where in the hell is this promised land?
All right, there goes Tommy Bolin. You know what?
So good to me, praying just so I can breathe. My father, my only one. I hope you're proud of this, your son.
Tommy Bolin off the Teaser LP. All right, sometimes I just don't want to turn it off, Rock and Rio. I'm sorry. I know. That's what happens.
Well, speaking of, I think the Who had it right with that album, Tom.
Which one? We won't get fooled again.
Just Tommy.
Tommy, can you hear me? Tommy, can you feel me? Can you touch me?
The whole album. Yep.
Put on your earplugs, put on your eye shades. You know where to put the cork. It's into the microcosm, Ground Zero Plus. Come on over. Hang out. This is where the place to be. You never know what's going to happen. Like after tonight, right now, when this show's over, I don't know what's going to happen next, but I know this. You're not on here unless you got something to offer. And so there's going to be some offerings. And so I would assume whatever it is, you'll enjoy it. And if you're still here in the morning, 8 o'clock Pacific, right here, Ground Zero Plus, it's Wake and Bake Sunday morning. We've been doing it ever since we were on Aftermath. We've still done it. And it's still been going on, and it'll still be going on tomorrow morning. Rock and Rio won't be here because he's got one eye. And I got one leg. So what a team. You got one eye, I got one leg. You know, together, maybe we can, you know, hobble something together. Tonight, here on Ground Zero Plus, it's chilluminatti. And I think I've been chilluminatti a little bit too much. Now, have you heard of this? There's this new product that I'm testing. And it's called terpenes. And what this is terpene-infused cannabis flower coated in diamonds and crumble. So, let me just say, I got to give this product a full-on thumbs up. Seriously. This is some good shit. That was a great call, by the way. I want to reiterate that. It's definitely a great call. Really appreciated that quite a bit. It's been a good show tonight, man. You know, a little unorthodox, but we shoot from the hip, man. We're organic. Anything can happen. And that's what, you know, that's what makes it fun for us to hang out together here. Ground Zero Plus, Saturday night, chilluminatti. Because we can do whatever the F we want, man. Because I am at the control board. And Rock and Rio is right there behind me. He's got my back. Now CAC is in here. CAC's got the side door. We're all in here. Everybody's got on removable ties, you know. Nobody's wearing straight ties. Everybody's, you know. We got it together in here. And we're glad you found it somehow. It's got to be word of mouth. It's got to be, man. Otherwise, how the hell would you find out about it? We don't advertise. If somebody out there told you. Somebody shared it. All right, listen. Tomorrow, Sunday morning, Wake and Bake. You want to start the day off right? You can keep listening to it all week. When you wake up, your day will start out like that every day. You know? Just hit the ground, chilling. All right, see you tomorrow. Rock and Rio, you ready to say goodnight? CAC?
Yeah, I think it's about that time.
All right, CAC. We're going to see you next week. Thanks for stopping by, brother.
I will stay when everyone is leaving and you're feeling strange. See them fall, hear them say, trying to breathe but you're feeling strange. Oh, feel like you're living but you might be better out there. If you're going under then I'll be Domino, this world keeps knocking you down. Let them know no one can push you around. Getting out to breathe in the evening, feels like you never see the sun again. Domino, this world keeps knocking you down.
I just wanna go somewhere to rest my head. Maybe somewhere, no problems there. You spend a lot of time wondering why. Well, if you just take a deep look into my eyes, separate your heart from your mind. The only way to deal with the stress in these times. You're walking down a lonely road. You never know what the future holds. Are you feeling it's the right time? Rivers flow, turn the night light. Ancient scrolls says the time's right. Let me know, yeah. Are you feeling it's the right time? Rivers flow, turn the night light. Ancient scrolls says the time's right. Let me know.
me.